Hello. Welcome back to the What We Said podcast, everybody. Happy Friday. Going into the weekend. Hope you're feeling good and ready for a fun, relaxing summer weekend. I know I am.
Same. I need
how
to
are
relax.
you doing?
I'm doing great, love.
We're going to have a chat today.
I am very excited for a relaxing weekend because I just got back from, I feel like that Utah trip was the longest trip I've taken in a long time.
Yeah, you were gone for a long time.
I just feel like most of the time, trips are a few days. I was there for over a week. I think it was like 8 or 9 days maybe that I was gone.
Dang.
And it's good to be back. I was asking some of our friends that we went with if they feel rejuvenated or tired after a trip, and every single one was like exhausted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so funny how you think that, you know, you feel rejuvenated in certain ways, especially if you're going on a girls trip or something. But it's so funny how you think of a vacation as like a break, and then you get tired and you've like gone on flights and gone on a road trip and you're like, now I need to recover. But the whole point was the vacation. Wasn't that the point of the vacation? Like it just was making me laugh. I'm like,
the day after a vacation is like a black hole day.
Yeah.
Me and Nick, we're always just like, it is, I don't even know what's going on. We're floating.
It's a vortex.
We're trying to get back into our routine, but it feels so weird.
I know.
And you're tired.
Yes. I was gone for a while. I was at a family reunion in Utah, which it was right on the border of Utah and Idaho, because I thought we were going to Utah. And then there was like when we mapped where we were going, it said Idaho. I was like, Idaho? We were right on the border. I didn't realize how close we were to Idaho. Last time that we did this family reunion was a few years ago, and we stayed in the Utah side of it. And then this time we were like a mile further, and it was technically Idaho.
Oh, wow.
So I was at Bear Lake for a family reunion. It was really fun, and it was very chaotic. We were all staying in one house.
That's
There
insane.
are 60 members of my extended family. There were a few people who couldn't come because they just had babies and stuff, but pretty much everyone was there, and it was 50 people.
That's insanity.
It ended up being 50, yeah. It was so crazy, and it was kind of long. Like it was 4 nights, 5 days with 50 people. And I was just like, oh, mama needs solidarity. So, what is it called? What is the word I'm looking for?
Alone time?
Solo time, yeah. Also solidarity. Please be in solidarity with me.
Yeah.
It was so chaotic. It was really fun, but I was just like, oh, wow. Benny is just on the move. She's so like, she's just at a very busy age, as she has been, honestly, for months. But it was just, there were a lot of kids. We were all sharing rooms, you know, with the nap times and everything. I was just like, oh, whoa. This is a lot.
Oh, the kids were sharing rooms?
I mean, some of that.
Like
Benny wasn't sharing with any kids, but like I was sharing. It wasn't just, you know, like we had our own bedroom and bathroom. Like we shared a bathroom with, I think, like 15 people. Leif's like, I haven't peed. He's like, I've peed once a day. Because like anytime you want to go pee, the bathroom is taken. Or like you need a shower and it's like, oh, well, you know, there's already someone there.
And with a kid, you want your own bathroom because you're like, I got to bathe them. I got to just.
Yeah, no,
it's
there
necessary.
was none of that. It was fun for that. We knew that going into it, that it was going to be that kind of energy. But afterwards, I was just like, oh, wow, that was so much chaos.
Yeah.
But it was really fun.
It's one thing when you don't have a kid and you go to family reunions where everyone else has kids and you can kind of, you know, you're not of the chaos. Like you're in the chaos, but you're not of the chaos. And then once you have your own kid and everyone else also has kids, then you're literally
in it.
You're in it. You're of it. You are it.
Yes.
And you're just like
a whirlwind.
Your head is spinning on a swivel.
And because it was far, like we flew into Salt Lake, but then we had to drive 3 hours there. So I felt like I did so many. I felt like I had.
I'm stressed. I gotta take a deep breath.
I went on so many road trips and flights, I felt like.
Yeah.
This whole weekend, because after that family reunion, I went from being with 50 of my extended Mormon family members immediately to 30th birthday party for Haley. It was quite the contrasting, vibe. And then I went on a little trip with a few of the girls to Kanab, Utah, which was so fun. And yeah, so I had 2 very different trips.
Utah, you got both the Utah exclusives.
I did,
because that's like the 2 sides of Utah.
Exactly. I got to experience it all this past week. But yeah, because we did that road trip to Bear Lake, and then so we had the flight, then that road trip, then the road trip back. Then I went to Kanab and I was on that road trip and then flew home. You know, just bus club, another bus.
Yeah.
I've had a busy week. What can I say?
Jeez.
But it was all very fun, positive experiences. That being said, I'm glad to be home. I'm excited to get back into a routine. I love those girlies, Maddie, Lucy, and Haley. That's who I went on the trip with. It was so fun. It's funny because we were talking about Chelsey so much on the trip, like just how we all, now we all need to go on a trip. And we were all talking about how it's just hard to do it all these days and coordinate so many different, friend groups and girls' nights and girls' trips. And they were joking that we need to move to Utah. They're like, do you want to move from your dream house by the beach and move to Utah with us?
Please.
But no, it was so fun.
We have swig.
I know. I love that internet friends. What we're talking about is that when you know someone from the internet and you've been mutuals with each other for a long time on social media, it really is like you know them. Like I met a few of the girls at Haley's party that I've followed for a while, but I've never met them in person. And it was so confusing to me that I hadn't met them in person. I'm like, no, I know you. We know each other. Like it was really not me giving the parasocial relationship.
I was going to say, I have a parasocial relationship with so many people where even when I can't remember who exactly, maybe it was Haley and Kylie went to Disneyland and there was a part of me, I'm like, why am I not invited? I live right there. And I'm like, I've actually never met them in person. But that's how I feel like with the parasocial social media friendships.
I know. It's so real. But yeah, it was very fun. We did a lot of just, thrifting, eating.
Yeah, that's the goal.
It was funny because we were on that road trip and it was like a 4 or maybe it was less than 4 hours, like 3.5 hour drive, maybe 4. And like we drove there and then we obviously had to drive back. There was not one moment of silence on that trip. Like it was just making me laugh so hard because I'm like, we talked every moment that we could. And then as we were pulling up home or like to Lucy's house and like I was going to the airport and they were going back to their houses, I like asked them a question. They're like, why did you ask that 2 minutes from? Because they were like, we have so much to say about that topic. And we were like trying to get more in. Seething for more information. I'm like, that is so funny because we've been in the car together for 8 hours.
That's
and we're
actually really funny to do. Like at the end of a long road trip with girlfriends, just like save your juiciest tea as you're getting out. Be like, oh, by the way, so and so and so and so are getting a divorce. And then you like close the door and leave. It's just like, no.
It's so funny. But it was very inspiring, rejuvenating, great. I mean, I was joking that after a trip, it's like tiring, but obviously there is, especially once you have kids, I think going on any type of girls trip, like really is so rejuvenating. It reminds you that you are a person. We were talking about business ideas. The topic of today's episode, I was telling them we were doing an episode like that, and we ended up doing that in the car too. Yeah. Like had a little niche brainstorm session about like lighthearted little problems or like, things in our life, and then everyone would give their 2 cents. Dump. Yeah, everyone was like, okay, if I had a business, what would it be? And we would like, talk about that. And it was just fun, inspiring, great energy. Love those girlies. And yeah, it was fun. But I'm ready to be back I'm ready to lock in. I need to unpack my suitcase today. Didn't unpack. I got home last night where Chelsey waited for me for an hour on the tarmac. Not on the tarmac. I was on the tarmac.
I'm like have the light things. I'm like, bring her home.
It was, again, after a long trip, that is the last thing you want.
That's Haney. It's one thing when you're going on a trip to be sitting on the tarmac or like be sitting on the plane for a long time. If you have me sitting on that plane longer than one more second than I need to be.
I know.
When I'm almost home, I want to be teleported home to my bed.
Same. I know. I could just see out the window. They're like, yeah, we don't have a gate to pull up to. There's been a miscommunication. And I was like,
can I just hop out?
Yeah.
It's literally right there.
I know. So we waited for, no joke, like almost an hour. I feel like it was 40 minutes or something. Just sitting on the plane. My headphones died, so I had to turn to my Kindle. I didn't have my ultimate dopamine, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, that's my life update. It was a fun week, and I'm ready to get back on my grind.
That's so fun. On the other end of my life update, on the other end of one parent having a solo trip to get rejuvenated, there is a parent on the other side with solo parenting at home. And that was me this weekend because Nick went. It was very short. He went for like 2 nights to go on like a golf trip with his friend, which was fun. Great for him. He needed a break. But Mama's tired. I have 2
Solo
toddlers now.
parenting is unbelievable. And with the 2 toddlers.
I've solo parented overnight with a baby and a toddler. And that was hard. 2 toddlers? Oh my gosh. I had help. Like I had our nanny come over for a couple hours and I thought that was going to be like, oh, I can have time. No, we were both running. I'm trying to cook dinner. I'm trying to it was insane. I was just like, wait. And then my mom came the next day. I'm like, so you had 6 of these?
It's so unbelievable to me when people have so many kids. I don't know how. I guess if you do have 6 kids, your older kids are so much older that it's different. But
no, the toddlers. I was thinking about Haley with twins, the same age. Like I was thinking if I doubled Elwood and there's 2.
So much work.
Your eyes have to literally be able to look in different places.
It's wild. Shout out to single parents.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to all parents. It really is. It's a lot of freaking work.
Because me and Nick always say we're busy all day. Whether I'm working, whether I'm with one of the kids. And Nick is with the kids so much. He's we're both so busy that sometimes it's insane to think about the fact that the other person helping running your household is also
just as busy as you are.
Just as busy.
Yeah.
Sometimes busier. Where it's just, I couldn't believe. I was like, Nick, I appreciate you so much because I was not okay. I know. I mean, I was okay, but I also was I'm used to solo parenting one kid. And then again, a baby that doesn't move. Just and yeah, that was
both of them running around.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was a wake-up call.
A wake-up call.
Yeah. And birth control. I'm like, okay. Third baby can wait, mama.
Yeah. I feel like once they just are so Benny she just walks now. So it's it's over.
And they don't
days
listen.
Of
that age where they don't listen. They
don't know anything.
Case can run and jump and talk. But he will follow me.
Yeah.
Elwood is just
off on his own.
Within seconds. When they walk, it's so much faster too. Within seconds.
I know.
I'll put him down. If they crawl, they get there a little slower.
Yeah.
You put him down, 1 second later, they're across the house.
I know.
It's
it
crazy.
really is crazy.
And they don't like to be contained once they can walk.
Oh, no,
That's the other thing.
No, not one bit. I know. My friends were kind of validating that. They're like, oh, when they start walking, it's really hard because it's just an immediate switch and you're just like, oh, I can't look away for 1 second. I mean, you already can't really when they're crawling.
Yeah.
But
they are okay being contained when they're crawling.
Yeah.
You can put them in a little playpen.
Yeah.
You can put them in a seat. They like it. But once they're walking, they
just
want
their independence.
Else.
Yeah. They don't want to be constrained in any way, I feel like.
Yeah.
So that's why, I mean, Benny honestly did great on this whole trip. But I was a little with a long road trip and
the planes when they
the
can
planes
walk.
As well. And within the same day, I was like, oh, she's not going to like being contained. She wants to just run around. So yeah.
Yeah. The plane once they want to walk. Give me that iPad, mama.
High stimulation, mama.
Literally. Screen time does not exist on the plane.
No.
It doesn't count.
I know.
For me either, honestly.
Same.
My own screen time.
Yeah. I really wanted to be, now that Love Island is on, I'm like, bye-bye to my Kindle. Bye, Kristen Hannah. Love Island is my nightly routine.
Same.
It was so funny because it started during our family reunion and there was the house we stayed at, by the way, was really nice and huge, but there's 50, as it should be, there's 50 people. You can't stay in a small house, obviously. When we pulled up, I was like, this place is massive. But then there were so many people that it was still very full, But there was a theater room in the house. And so me and my cousins at 11 p.m. went in there, all the kids were asleep and we started watching Love Island together. And once the little dun, 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 played, me and my cousin literally looked at each other with a sigh of relief. We're like, this is the best sound our ears have ever. It is officially summer.
It just feels like summer once Love Island starts. That's how I've been feeling this last week. We've just been having a very chill week and going to the beach, just being outside and the weather and just loving the sun. And then Love Island at night, after I'd shower.
The best.
Post-beach shower, we eat dinner, the kids are asleep. I can just like lay down, watch Love Island, and let my brain completely
numb
rot.
out. The best feeling in the world, truly. Nothing like it.
I will say one thing about Love Island. We won't do a like update or anything.
I'm only on episode 2.
People were really not well last summer when you were on maternity leave, and I could not stop yapping about Love Island.
They didn't want to hear it?
They were like, enough with Love Island.
Really? That's what I'm saying, though. If you're not watching it, it's like, okay, stop.
But if
I don't
you are,
care.
it's all consuming.
Yes, but if you are, you're like, give me every micro detail.
Yes.
Yeah.
So don't worry. I won't make the same mistake again, hopefully. Last year, I had every right because last year's Love Island was so good.
So good.
Took the world by storm.
Literally the only thing that kept me alive. I was just talking about, and I'm actually not taking that lightly. I was in the hospital with a life-threatening illness, and the fact,
push, you're like, I can't. The sound,
literally, I'm like, I got this. Just rejuvenating me. No, that the most dramatic episodes or like the best TV was when I was in the hospital with my kidney infection. There was one night where I was not well. I wasn't even, that was not on my mind, obviously. But I was alone and away from everyone. No one could come visit me because I was in the infectious disease unit. I couldn't be with Benny. I couldn't be with Leif. And so, but I had my phone and I had the whatever Peacock app or whatever. And so I would just watch it in my hospital bed because I couldn't put it on the TV. And literally I was like, this is the only thing that's bringing me any sense of like semblance of, oh, there's a life outside of this hospital room. And like, I'm feeling even remotely happy because everything I was like feeling so horrible. And I felt so guilty and sad that I couldn't be with my baby. But my mom came and she was like taking care of Benny with Leif. And I was like, okay, she's in good hands. I'm watching Love Island, baby.
Yeah.
It was saved my life last summer, truly. That's why I think I'm even extra attached to Love Island.
Yes.
I like have fond memories because my whole maternity leave, that was my show.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I would get the sundown scaries because I'm like, oh no, another night of like having a newborn. And then I'd be like, oh, we get to watch Love Island.
Yeah.
Like what's going to happen?
Exactly.
It was so fun.
I love that it's every night too. It just, thank you for doing what we all need, Love Island producers.
Were you going to say something about it, but you didn't want to because you didn't want people to get mad?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't remember what it was, so obviously it wasn't that important. This episode of What We Said is brought to you by Huggies Little Snugglers. Huggies is the only leading brand with all-around blowout protection for sizes 1 and 2. So if you're a parent out there, you know there is literally nothing worse on this planet than a blowout. You get your baby all dressed up in their new outfit. You're so excited to show them off to your friends, family. You're going to bring them out for a little outing. You put them in their car seat, and then when you get there, you take them out. They have literal poop all over their back. It's all over the car seat. It's just like an absolute mess, and it ruins your day. So having ultimate blowout protection is key. It really is key.
I feel like you can literally get blowout anxiety, especially when your kids are younger. Just, you never know what's going to happen. And like Chelsey said, you could be at like a family outing or with friends. You finally get brave enough to take your baby out and about because you're not, it's a big life shift to add a child into your life. And then you're at a coffee shop, you're at a cafe, you're out on a walk and they blow out and it's just stressful and annoying. So you can ease your blowout anxiety by switching to Huggies Little Snugglers. Huggies Little Snugglers are up to 100% leak proof with blowout protection in the front and back on sizes 1 and 2, so you can feel confident relying on them for your little ones. When your baby is in size 1 and 2 diapers, that is definitely the time when they are having blowouts the most. So this is very, very helpful. Their diapers are also just super soft and great quality. Huggies Little Snugglers, now with blowout protection in every direction, sizes 1 and 2. Huggies, we got you, baby.
Support for today's episode comes from Square. So Square is your all-in-one business partner, making your day-to-day easier from point of sale, systems, and payments to inventory and customer tools. Square brings everything together in just one simple platform. So you can stay organized, you can sell anywhere and keep things moving. If you have a small business and you're wanting to, or maybe you have a cafe, a salon, boutique, or something entirely your own, Square gives you the flexibility to grow it at your own pace and even set up an online store in just a few clicks. This is game changer for if you are wanting to start a side hustle or your own business, things like that. I was at the farmer's market the other day and I was just so grateful for Square. I was like, gone are the days where you have to bring cash only. Luckily now you can just tap your phone at all the little booths, and paying is just so much easier, which is easier for the customer. It's easier for the person selling. It's just all around a better situation.
So many places around here that I go, local cafes and small businesses, even bigger businesses, use Square, and it's so easy to use. Also, if you yourself are running a business, obviously there's so many moving parts, and Square just helps you simplify that. The hardware looks polished, it fits right into the space without feeling intrusive, and the software is super straightforward and intuitive. You don't need special training. You can just set it up and start taking payments quickly. Whether you have a small boutique, a pop-up art gallery, a weekend market stall, food truck, a yoga studio, Square adjusts to what you need. You can sell in person or online from one location or several, and it's built to move with you and adapt as your business grows. Also, if you're expanding online, Square makes it simple to set up a store in just a few minutes, so it's perfect for if you want to expand beyond a brick and mortar. For the payments, Square supports all major credit cards and payment methods, including contactless options like Apple Pay and Google Pay, so checkout is just super fast and easy, and we absolutely love it. Square keeps up so you don't have to slow down. Get everything you need to run and grow your business without any long-term commitments. And why wait? Right now you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/whatwesaid. That is SQUARE.com/GO/whatwesaid. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
Oh, I do remember. Basically that. My one beef with Love Island recently is like the internet talk. Excessive internet talk. It's coming from us. It's crazy. But like all they say is giving and whatever. But it's too much. It just doesn't seem authentic. Yeah.
Okay.
The Islanders, please.
Excuse me. Yeah.
You know,
I get what you mean.
It's too much sometimes.
Like the way they speak is chronically online, kind of is what you're saying?
And I'm fine with it every once in a while. And most of the Islanders now, I feel like, throw it in every once in a while, which is funny and relatable, whatever. But there will always be a few that's like all
their whole verbiage.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, I can't even follow what you're saying. Like, I missed that meme, so I don't know what you what you said.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. I'm excited to keep watching.
And you don't get to know them because
they're speaking in code.
Yeah. Like it's making me feel reflective, honestly.
Oh, interesting.
About my own verbiage.
Yeah.
And slang. But anyways, let's change the subject to something I was really just feeling, I don't know what the exact word is, but angry about.
Okay.
In a almost dark, serious way. So sorry, you guys. And I'm sure a lot of people are sharing this on their story. Like, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, but basically ABC News like posted this thing and it was like, new study finds alarming decline in mental health of U.S. mothers. Did you see that?
No.
Basically a bunch of moms I follow are posting it like, duh. Okay. Have you ever talked to a mother? Of course. Like, oh, alarming new study finds that moms are really not okay. It's like, of course. But anyways, let me just read it for you really quick. And I was actually crying reading the comments because I was just like, moms, we got to do something. Like, this is not okay. Like, as I was reading the comments of just like so many different moms from so many different backgrounds, I'm just like, we need to ease up on the moms in all form, like any form or fashion that people are just like, okay, so let me just read what it says. A growing number of mothers are struggling with their mental and physical health, according to a new study. The findings show a sharp drop in maternal mental health, with only 25.8% reporting excellent mental health in 2023, which is down from 38.4% in 2016. Physical health also declined over this period, with 15% fewer mothers reporting excellent physical health and more women reporting just good health. And the first comment is, no mother is surprised by this, first of all. Another one said, we're hanging on by a thread and no one cares. Someone said, in other news, water is wet. And then another person was like, we don't need more studies telling us this. Like, okay, shocker. We need access to affordable and quality care, a supportive village, affordable childcare, like systematic change. Like, people were just like, okay, and like, can you guys do something about this? Like, can we all do something about this? And a lot of people were talking about like, well, no one has a village anymore. Like, raising a family is so hard. You have to like, you both are working, trying to make ends. I was feeling I don't know why, this just like caught me at a time where I was just like, dude, this sucks. Like, being a mom is already so hard, and just like almost, I think, seeing that, like, I think everyone as a mom, you're kind of like struggling. Some people are more open about it. Some people are not, whatever. But if you don't have mom friends to talk to, you might not know that other people are struggling about it. And so, or are struggling with it, whether it's like the transition to motherhood, whether it's you don't have a supportive partner, whether it's you don't have a village, so no one can help watch your kids, so you're paying for childcare while you're working, you can barely afford the childcare. Why am I working? It's like there's so many different things that I was just feeling so riled up about that I'm just, I don't even know what to do. Like, there's nothing I'm saying like I don't know what to do necessarily, because you can't fix every mom's problems, but it was making me just feel so much more like less. It was making me feel more just love and empathy, even more. I already have an exponential amount for mothers, but even more so. Just like reading the comments of everybody just saying like, yeah, we do this and this. And I don't know, just everyone's trying their best, and it's just really hard out there.
Yeah. And I think the audacity, like hearing that, and then just seeing things of people commenting on like women bouncing back after pregnancy.
Yes.
Like, it's just so stupid and irrelevant. Like, that is
or
the
mom
least
shaming, like for any little parenting decision. That's also what I was thinking about. Is like, there's so many TikToks now, or I'm like, not that I would know, but like reels or just like different things on social media about this. If you're doing this to your kid, like, that's not going to be good. They're going to grow up entitled, or just little parent. Are you having meltdowns in front of your kids? Well, that's bad for their mental health. Like, drastic. Like, it's so much pressure, and it's so overwhelming, and you're just like bombarded constantly. And no wonder moms never feel like they're doing good. They get mom shamed for any choice they make parenting, like whether they want to do screen time, whether they don't, whether they feed their kids fruit snacks, whether they don't, whether they just every single decision they make, they're like critiqued for it by other moms, by society, whatever. If they bounce back, if they don't, if their boobs come back. Like, I saw this one girl, she was sharing how her boobs are like so flat now, and she showed like a before and after, and all the comments were so mean. Like, she was literally just making almost like funny. Like, she didn't even seem to care. She was like, me before pregnancy, me after breastfeeding. Like, literally just went from double these to tiny. Can relate. And it was just funny. And I opened the comments, and all of them were like, ooh, this is making me not want to be a mom. Like, this is just, and I'm like, leave the girl alone and just leave women alone. Oh, it was making me so mad.
I think, yeah, you have every right to be riled up by that. I feel like it's just so exhausting, like trying to do it all. And then I think the worst part is that, because obviously my solution in my head to a lot of that is like, don't be chronically scrolling social media, because like that's where you see everything. But it also is such a bummer, because that can be such a huge village for people.
Yes,
and that
if people don't have a village, that's where they go.
Yeah, it's like you can learn so much, online by following different moms or looking certain things up on TikTok or Instagram, like, oh, what do people do for this? And it can be such a good resource, but at the same time, it can just be so, also just make you feel dumb and like you're not doing enough. And I feel like even that trend of propaganda I'm not falling for, I feel like a lot of people took that opportunity to be like, propaganda I'm not falling for, giving my kids stuff with dyes, screens, ever. And it's just like, I think that the internet has lost so much. This is not a hot take. Has lost the ability to understand nuance and like just that things are complex and that there's a gray area of things. I feel like people literally think that because people on either side are so loud, and I don't even know exactly what I'm referring to. I just feel like there's a lot of, take like screen time, or I'm trying to think of other
like
things.
sleep training,
like
food,
vaccines, diet. Like people think it is, you are one or the other, and something
terrible mom or good mom. It's like they want to put you in that.
Well, and also that if you believe in this, then you definitely I'm just saying there's such stark sides for things where it's like you're either a crunchy mom and you are A, B, and C, or you're a whatever. I can't even think of you're way too chill and you let them do whatever they want. And like, there is an in-between. And I am like happy to say that I am an in-between person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very gray area person where it's like, I can see certain benefits of certain things. I can disagree with, I don't think I fall into like either of those categories. And so sometimes seeing content, I'm just like, this is so crazy. Like regarding parenting, being like, I don't know, just so intense. Like everyone, you can have your own parenting, obviously, techniques and ways and things that work for you and your family. But I think it's like a lost thing to be like, I'm actually somewhere in the middle. Like, I believe in A, B, and C with modern medicine. I also don't really care if my kid has like something that has, sugar in it. Like they're going to be exposed to sugar at some point. Like there's just normal people exist is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes it seems like everyone is so far in one direction that like I don't know, it just feels so crazy. And Maddie, actually, Bad Broadcast, she had posted once something like that on her story where she was basically saying that's how she is. Like she can relate to certain parts. Like she was saying, I like to give my kid like a natural type of medicine or like, tincture or something. But if that doesn't work, like I'll give them Tylenol.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you for saying that. It's just, to me, that's normal. That's a normal take to not be like so far in one direction where it's like, I will never, ever take my child to a doctor, but also being like, oh, if we can help them at home, that would be awesome first. Just, there's so, I don't know. That's not even what you were talking about. So I'm like going on a whole other tangent, but I just think sometimes on social media, even seeing that study and like seeing people being so extreme on either side, I'm just like, most people are just like trying to do right by their kids. They want to be good parents. They don't want their kid to end up to be an entitled, spoiled person. They don't want their kid to be neglected. They don't want them to have mental health issues. But like if you are making sure they are fed and they have attention and love and you literally just unconditionally love them. Yeah. And they're clean and they're that's literally all you can do. Like that is the most important thing. And I feel like all the extra stuff is literally just extra. Like if you give your kid fruit snacks, those dyes and sugar, I'm like, respectfully, you can't do every single thing right. And if you're trying to, you will be so anxious.
And not present.
That you won't even be a present parent. So to me, that's like my parenting philosophy. I'm like, I can see benefits of both of these things. I'm just trying my best. It's too overwhelming to try and be so perfect in some certain way. And again, that's a completely different topic. But I think the mental health crisis like social media can be a huge reason for that.
For sure. And that's what I think. Like, I think the main thing that was making me sad about my hair is shedding so much. Speaking of motherhood and postpartum. Oh dang! I lost my train of thought. Oh, with social media and a lot of the comments that I was seeing was about like village and like community and not having help and just making me feel so sad because it's so important to have people around you in person. We've talked about this before. Like if you have, my bracelet is so loud. If you have people in your life that you see and you get to talk to and have real long conversations with, it's not just like short form content that you're just getting little catchy snippets of. You get to have the full picture of people, and you'll find that most people are in that area that you're talking about, where it's like, then that makes you feel more normal and more validated and more connected to people, because it's like, oh, we're all complex people and we can be there for each other, and it's not so judgmental, like quick and okay, follow me if you like this, and if you don't like this and you don't agree with me, then unfollow me. And it's like, okay, that is how we're doing parasocial relationships. If you're going just for people on social media, again, like you were saying, it's great for certain aspects, but again, that you can't. I don't know what the exact solution is to having people have better communities, but I feel like that is like the main thing. It's like friends, like even like you're saying, you go on a trip with other mom friends and you get to talk to them and you're feeling like, okay, we've gotten to talk through this and we understand each other, and we may not agree on every single thing, but literally nobody does. And you start to understand that that's okay. And the other thing is in person, if you go, you see someone who posts that like, like you're saying, super black and white, like propaganda I'm not falling for. If you see that on social media, you're like, oh, they're very like
extreme in one way.
Probably very judgmental. But if you were to meet them in person, they probably would, you tell them what you do, they probably would literally support you and be like, you're doing great. You're doing great, mama. I see happy kids, mom. You know, like they would literally be like that because that is how normal people are. And if you're not getting in-person connection, you're missing that because you're just seeing what people are putting out for clickbait. And your mental health is going to be so
plummeting.
Bad.
Yeah.
It just make me sad all around. I'm just like, this sucks because we're all just trying our best and we're not helping each other on social media a lot of that with that kind of content where it's like propaganda I'm not falling for, or 5 things I would never do with my kid or something. And it's just not helping, and it's making people, I don't know, just feel so isolated. I think isolation is the worst possible thing for mothers. To be isolated in any form or fashion is so bad. It makes every mental health thing you could possibly be struggling with a million times worse.
So much worse. I know. I've never had an interaction in person with a mom that was bad, literally ever. Like any of my friends, even when I was struggling with like the breastfeeding aspect of things and like had that infection and everything. And I remember being like, I just can't keep breastfeeding. It's not working and all this stuff. Every single person I told was like, that's great. Like, who cares? And I was just like, oh, this is so different than, you know,
what you would see on social media.
Where it's like, oh, you're not giving your kid nutrients. And it's just like, I don't know. It is really important to be surrounded by people who you align with, who are just nice people and who have your best interest. And it is really heartbreaking that I feel like that just the concept of villages is like not dwindling, but you have to be more intentional about it. I think these days it's not as like in your community, you know, so much more information that your brain isn't supposed to know. Like up until this time period and even really this generation, people have just known what's going on in their community that they're surrounded by because the internet didn't exist. And now that it does, and it's the way it is, because even when, you know, the internet did exist however many years ago, it wasn't like it is today with social media where you see people's lives. And sure, media has always existed, but just this way that we can see so much going on in everyone's lives is so overwhelming if you don't strategically and intentionally kind of block out that noise sometimes. Yeah, if you're not very intentional about what you consume, it is so overwhelming that it's hard to live your own life. And it's hard to have your own thoughts and ideas because your brain is so bombarded, and we weren't meant to know so much. We were meant to be with the people in our community. And if something is going on that's hard with someone that you know, like that is what you're meant to know. Not every single person ever. Millions and millions of people on the internet. You know about everything bad that's happening, everything hard, everything good, everything. It's too much.
Yeah, because then you don't feel like you can do anything, so you don't do anything. Versus when you have things in person that you're having to deal with, it's easier to cope. It's easier to kind of work through. You can kind of sit with the uncomfortability because it's more palatable. It's not so every 5 seconds there's something absolutely horrible that you're hearing about. So you're like, well, what the hell am I going to do about that? I can't do anything. So I'm just going to sit here and keep doom scrolling because I can't get up and do anything about it. So you just feel like useless. And I think
helpless and hopeless.
Yeah. Were we talking about, did you share that quote? It's like someone's like tweet or something about how community is inconvenient. Were you talking about that?
I don't know.
I think we were talking about something about picking people up from airports. It's like that concept.
Is that why you offered to pick me up?
Yes.
Queen. Thank you, Queen.
Where I saw something, again, it was like someone's tweet. I should have screenshot it, but I didn't think we were going to be talking about it. So it was like, community is inconvenient. So if you want a community, you have to inconvenience yourself and you have to be uncomfortable. You have to go to those things that you're just like, oh, I don't want to go there. Like, I don't want to go to this event or this party or this get together because like I don't really like everyone here or something. Like inconvenience yourself and go do that. Like pick people up from the airport. Go out of your way to drop something off at somebody's house, even though you're like, well, they can just Postmate it. It's like just go out of your way to offer things, to be there for people, to do things for people, even if it is uncomfortable, even if you feel awkward, even if it's just putting yourself out there is so scary and inconvenient and just, I don't know, seems like not even important these days because there's Uber, Postmates, just all of these things that can replace that. Social media, where it's like, well, they don't want me to come talk to them. They can just post on their story about her. They can just like go on a forum online, when it's just not the same, and it will never replace it.
I know. And I do think sometimes when you are drowning or struggling, like it feels like, well, I'm not in a position to like help people, but I do feel like if you do put yourself out there to be like, hey, if you need this, let me know. Like, hey, I can come by and do this. You really do feel more fulfilled in life, and you feel like you're helping, and therefore it does go both ways, where
those things make a big difference.
Yes.
Like, even though they seem silly, a home cooked meal brought to your house means so much more to someone than sending DoorDash to their house.
Totally.
Of a random restaurant.
It does. And also even you picking me up from the airport, like I'm thinking of that experience that's so much more comfortable to me versus like getting in a random Uber. Yeah. You know, it's like, of course I could have Ubered and I would have, but to have like someone that you actually are comfortable with picking you up is so much better.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it is so important, and it's easy to forget in today's
It's a good
day and
reminder,
age.
because there's a lot of times where I'm like, I'm just not going to go to that. Like, that seems like we'll be invited to like a neighbor that we've never met before, and they're like, hey, we're having a big barbecue, and I'm like, my first instinct is like, I don't want to talk to people. Like, I want to just stay home and do my. And then every time we go, Nick is really good about it. So honestly, it's great for me because it pushes me out of my comfort zone. Every time we go, we meet people, and to feel safe in your own neighborhood because you're talking to everybody around and you know them is like so nice. No, not to rub it in your
What
face.
would that be like? It's like our neighbors are young and hip.
Like, very safe, very respectful of boundaries. Appreciate good landscaping.
Yeah. Oh, couldn't be me.
Yeah.
No, honestly, ever since that lady came up and praised our landscaping,
have a safe space.
I have a safe space now in my neighborhood. It's really been game changing. No, I agree with all of that, and I think in general,
be easy
on women. Honestly,
yeah,
it's a lot.
It's rough out there. It's hard, and it's hard for all of us. So,
I agree with that.
Sorry for that, but I just had to talk about it. It just was weighing on my mind.
That's okay. I feel like that type of stuff is always on my mind too. And I see a lot of content about it. I just saw a video about this girl saying that I would need to go through and watch the entire thing again, but she was saying how basically the world hates popular women also, like, and successful women. And you'll notice how if someone gets popular and successful enough, there will be a time period where like people hate on them so hard and they're brought down, but then it gets like boring to hate them. So then they'll have like resurgences, and it's pretty much like that is just what happens. Like no woman can ever just like stay in an uphill trajectory because it's just not possible. And it was so interesting to watch. I was like, it's like spooky kind of.
And what it takes to take a woman down is so not as bad as what it takes to take a man down. Like, it's
like something that they did or how they acted.
The punishment does not meet the crime.
Ever. It's so true. Okay, we're gonna get into niche little problems, lighthearted problems you guys are having.
Not like what we just talked about.
Yeah, emphasis on lighthearted. It was cracking me up. Some people are like, I wish I had a lighthearted problem. I'm like, relatable. And some people are like, my dad's in prison. I'm like, mama.
We said lighthearted.
I said lighthearted. So we're going to go through some like fun, silly little problems, give our niche. We're going to have a little brainstorm session on your behalf and see if we can find any solutions.
Throw things at the wall, see what sticks for you.
Yes.
You can take any of it.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
Okay, my first one is how to make a rental feel like my own. I'm so intimidated by painting. Okay, unfortunately, painting is a great way to make a rental because you can always paint over. Peel and stick wallpaper, so great.
So cute.
So easy to remove, easy to put on. But I will say, I feel like as someone who lives in a rental, making it your own does take a little bit of effort, and you have to know you're putting in that effort for no payout. The only payout is coziness.
Yeah.
And making it feel, you're not like, oh, this will increase the value of my home. You're just doing it.
It's for your own comfortability and your own happiness, for sure.
But it is worth it.
Yeah. I feel like there are so many ways to make a place your own, and it doesn't have to be like deconstructing the home and like, or reconstructing, I guess. Like, you can I think paint and wallpaper are both amazing. Hanging stuff on the walls. At some of our rentals, we wouldn't because we were just like, oh, we don't want to have to patch up the holes and stuff. It is not a big deal to patch up holes. Hang stuff on the walls if you're allowed, which most places you are. That to me, like hanging pictures or art of your own on the walls is so helpful.
Yeah. I think something you do well and that you've done in all of your places that you've lived is adding shelves of some kind. Like whether it's something you can just stick into the wall, like not
like
something you have to add. Yes, like
a shelving unit that you don't have to like drill to the wall. Like shelves. It's just sitting there. It's like a bookshelf.
I feel like shelves or having things on display that are your own make it feel like a representation of who you are.
I think so too. That's a good one. Do you know what? You remember the 2 shelving units that were next to each other? It was like it looked like one big bookcase in my last house. Those are IKEA. Yeah. And they were so cheap. I mean, in comparison to other ones. Dang, I don't know how to find the specific one. Because, they all have different names. But basically, it's the Billy bookcase. Yeah. They have different ones and different sizes. And they have like walnut, white, dark brown, or like oak. And then the one I have is just oak. But like these.
Yes. Perfect.
You can get different sizes. Look up the Billy. Because I'm trying to be more specific for people. If you do want to add shelves, look at IKEA because they are more affordable. The Billy bookcase, there's like height extensions. You can like customize the height. I got 2 of them and put them together and it was just like a big bookcase. It fit perfectly in my space. I recognize depends on obviously where you live, but I do think that's a good one. Like getting shelves, putting art. That way also you aren't having to put stuff on the wall if you don't want to. Rugs are really
big
good.
Rugs. I know those are very expensive, but you can get rugs, cheap.
Facebook Marketplace. I feel like also if you're doing this on a budget, which kind of leads me into another question. People are asking for thrifting tips for home stuff. Let me look at specifically what she said, but like rugs, bookcases, and then just to fill the bookcase, like just thrift. That is the best way. I always find cute vases, cute little pieces of art that are so cheap. If you are patient too, then you can just like build up a collection over time versus like, okay, I'm going to go to Target and get a bunch of stuff, which you can also do totally if you want to. But I'm just saying like it might be more personal and more unique if you are able to thrift stuff. Let me see what someone said about the thrifting thing because I know I saved one. Okay, cool. Can't find it anywhere, but I know a few people asked about that. But maybe we talk about that too much already.
What?
Like thrifting for your house.
Because things to look for?
What?
Are they asking for like things to look for? Or like how do you know it's a good
find
thrift
the specific one? Just like I think I do remember someone saying they walk into a thrift store and they feel so overwhelmed.
Yeah,
like they don't even know where to begin. This is the most obvious take. Water is wet. That's what this is giving. But start in just sections. I feel like in your mind, if you're like, okay, you walk into a thrift store, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff here. If you're like, okay, first I'm going to look in the home section and what I'm looking for is stuff for a shelf. Or like what I'm looking for is I want new glassware. Like I want cute glasses or something. If you you can't be too specific when you're thrifting. Otherwise I do not think you'll find it. But for example, when I was just in Kanab on that girls trip, I was looking for specific things. Like Lucy's super good at styling and I had shown her a little Pinterest board that I had made of like, because I'm trying to find my personal style kind of right now. And I'm just like looking at what I'm gravitating towards. And she would just be looking, she'd be like, wait, JC, this looks like your mood board. And then I feel like that's a good way if you have something in mind, a vibe. It's not like I need this very specific item, but it's like, okay, I'm going to look for like flowy nightgownish dresses. That's what I'm kind of, then if you have something in your mind, you can go to that section and like start there. You can even maybe make a list if like that's your jam. But I feel like if you just walk in, you have no idea, you have nothing in mind, I don't know, it's a little more overwhelming.
For sure. You have to also make sure to block out the noise of dupes of things that you see that are trendy. I find that's sometimes my downfall with thrifting. If there's like something interior design that's trending, like a certain chair or a certain fabric or a certain look, if you are trying to almost like find dupes of that, those are not going to be long-lasting thrift finds. Like if you're looking for things that feel like what you are naturally gravitated towards, like you said, if you have something in mind of like, okay, this is my personal interior design style. Like I'm thinking, let's go back to not for too long, but let's go back to 2020, like with the boucle.
Yeah, let's make it quick.
Yeah, let's make it quick. With boucle fabric, like that was my downfall, and that's my Roman Empire that I like.
Got a boucle couch.
Yes, that it just was not feeling like me, but that's not thrifted, but I'm just saying like, you're like, oh, that's in. I need to find something like that. Like, let me find a boucle couch. When it's like, well, get back to your roots.
Yeah.
Like, is that sometimes the trend comes and you're like, that feels like me. Mm-hmm. That trend really aligns with me and something I've always been drawn to. And there are some trends you got to just sit this one out.
Yeah. I think because some people are asking about how to find their home style in general, like interior design style. And I've said this before, I feel like it takes so long. I feel like especially if you're in your early 20s, you maybe don't even really know your own style. How are you you don't even know who you are. How are you going to decorate your house perfectly? Mm-hmm. I feel like I've always been gravitated towards like similar color schemes and certain things, but it has taken me like 10 years. I feel like right now I'm just starting to understand my interior design style. Like I'm just starting to understand what I'm gravitating towards. And it's always similar. Even when I was thrifting this weekend, everyone would be like, oh, that's so your color palette. And I'm like, that's not something that I was like, this is my specific color palette I have to stick to. It's just what I like. Mm-hmm. It's just what I gravitate towards.
But I feel like that comes with time.
It does.
Like you can't, that's the joy of it. That's the exciting part is like if you don't know your interior design style and you don't know what it is that it feels like you, this is going to sound like I'm trying to be like Gandhi or something, but the finding is the purpose of it. Like you're never going to find your perfect. That is me and I never have to evolve again. And I will never find anything else that is me. I found it and we're here.
It's going to evolve.
It's going to evolve and that's the point. That's the fun of it is going to a thrift store and exploring what feels like me. Like you have to look at it like that, not just like I didn't find anything that feels like me today. It's like that's the fun of it. Like getting to know yourself, what you like, try things out.
And it's also much easier to experiment when you are thrifting because it's such lower stakes. Like it's secondhand, it's cheaper in most cases, like where I went this past weekend, I got a bunch of stuff. $8 was my total.
Yeah.
I literally got like 6 items or something. To me, that's such lower stakes. It's like, okay, if this doesn't end up working out in my house, this little vase, like, well, it was 50 cents. So
exactly.
I didn't spend $200 on it. And now I'm like, no, it just feels a little easier. That's part of what I love about thrifting. Not that I'm like, oh, I'm just going to, now get rid of it. But it does feel, I would feel less bad getting rid of something that I spent 50 cents on that was already secondhand than something that I bought that was at Target,
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I had one that goes kind of along with this, which I was like, ooh, this is a good question that I actually don't know if I know the answer to it. Okay, my friend recently pulled out a card to pay for something. She pulled out her debit card and it was so cute. It was bright pink. And I was like, what is that debit card? And I was like, what is that card? And she was like, oh, it's my Venmo debit card. I was immediately influenced. So we are not gatekeeping anymore, you guys. It is small, colorful, and will help you get everything you want. It's this little thing called Venmo that you all know about, but it's now for much more than just paying friends. Venmo has a debit card that connects directly to your Venmo balance so you can Venmo everything. Food, drinks, rides, clothes, groceries, gym membership, everything. It's so convenient because you can just spend money that's already in your Venmo balance. So getting paid back for dinner can turn into paying for coffee, yoga classes, new shoes, whatever you want. And speaking of dinner, for the girlies who are always picking up the bill, this is one of my favorite hacks. You can settle up before you pay the bill so your balance is ready to cover the total. And then you just swipe your Venmo debit card and boom, it's taken care of. I love Venmo so much. I use it like literally daily at this point. And this is just so nice to have a card where you can just pay for stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to pay with your Venmo balance for.
And here's the main selling point for me. The card actually Venmos you back. So similar to a credit card, but not a credit card, which few. When you pay with your Venmo debit card, you can earn up to 15% cash back at some of your favorite places. So that's more money in your pocket. This card really stands out. Literally, it's like JC said, it's so cute. It comes in all different colors so you can match it to your vibe. your Instagram aesthetic, you have to check it out. Sign up today to Venmo everything with the Venmo debit card. Visit venmo.me/debit to learn more. Venmo cashback terms at venmo.me/rewards. Offers are available for a limited time at select merchants. Max cashback applies and varies. Venmo purchase restrictions apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted.
This girl said, to travel or make home improvements from a mid-20s newly married girly.
Oh.
She's saying, what should I spend my money on? Traveling or making home improvements?
I think traveling.
I was really pondering on this. I think here's maybe my answer. If you don't have kids, traveling. If you have kids, home improvements.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Maybe. Because I think you have your whole life to do home improvements.
Yes. I was going to say, like, you got the rest of your life for that.
Yeah.
You can do that on a Saturday morning for 10 minutes. You know, like that's something you can always do.
But I think what she was getting at is like, where should I put my money? Because home improvement, you can't, always do everything you want. So if she has
like save up for a new kitchen or go to Italy.
Right. My answer is most of the time going to be travel, I think, especially if you don't have kids, because it does feel like you can, not that you can't travel when you're older too, but I feel like it maybe makes more sense the older you get to spend your money on like flipping a house or something.
Yeah.
I feel like and that was just maybe what I was naturally gravitating towards, but in my early and mid 20s, that is what I spent my money on, is traveling. Like that is always, I almost wouldn't have even wanted to I didn't own a house either, I guess, but.
Yeah. The other thing is do you own your house? How long are you going to be in it? Yeah. If you have kids, if it's like, oh, I want to redo the backyard for the kid. Like there's so many factors. Yeah. But my first reaction was travel.
I think so too. Mid-20s.
You're not quite in your Joanna Gaines era quite yet. You can be.
You can be if you're gravitating towards it, you're passionate about it. But I think that traveling when you're young is so fun. Such a fun experience.
To where to put your money. If it's like you love home, you're like, do I want to get into home improvement? And is that something like a hobby? Yeah, great. That's a great hobby to get. But if you're just wondering about money, I feel like, again, it depends. But my first reaction would be like,
I think so too. I agree with that.
Okay, somebody asked, this is a very specific one. I need to dress like a slouchy, cool Hailey Bieber, but need the exact formula. Okay, so this is where the brainstorming comes into play because you got to just take what sticks here. But if you're specifically wanting to be, when I think of Hailey Bieber's style, I feel like she wears whatever the heck she wants. Like it is, there are like the three words that she has of like sporty and a little bit sexy and casual. But I also feel like she just wears money. No, just a package. I feel like she just wears whatever she wants. And that's the beauty of if you want your style. If you feel like, okay, Hailey Bieber's someone that I see her, what she wears and I really like it. It's because you like the confidence she has when she wears it to wear whatever she's wearing. Like she will wear really sporty, loud loungewear out and about, but then she'll wear like a really sleek, chic blazer look with loafers. And I feel as though the formula, if you want to dress like her, if you want to be very surface level about it, she wears lots of oversized. So you got to have, but not slouchy oversized where you got to be intentional about the oversized. Yes, structure is very important. Structure, texture of clothes, and the patterns you have to be very intentional about. Like if you want to wear an oversized t-shirt, usually if you want to, I'm saying you can wear slouchy sweatpants. You can do whatever the hell you want. But if you want to have like the Hailey Bieber look, if you want to add a little bit of sexy, you can wear like really short shorts with a super oversized t-shirt and like high socks with fun sneakers or something like that. Or you can, if you want to do one of her like blazer looks, you can wear a very oversized structured men's blazer that you got with a really tight dress underneath or like a tank top and like something unexpected. I feel like that's what she dresses like is there's always an unexpected element. Like if she's wearing a blazer, she's wearing jean shorts with it. Like not just like, oh, let's wear tailored pants with it. She's wearing like jean shorts and socks with loafers or something. So that's my
I
two
like
cents
that
for that.
That's exactly, I'm probably giving myself too much credit, but Lucy was asking me how I would describe how I think my personal style is this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to ask
because I was
about
having a brainstorming session with her, and that is actually exactly what I said about mine. I said, I do not think I have similar style to Hailey Bieber. That's not what I said, but I said I think what I like is very casual but with an unexpected element. That is exactly word for word what I said. I was like, I think I like wearing, you know, for me specifically, like light wash the Levi's baggy dad jeans with like a white tank top, but then have like big statement earrings or like a colorful
something
baseball
fun.
cap or something like that. And yeah, anyway, I mean, I love Hailey's style, but I feel like my specific style is not as like elevated as hers sometimes, but I do like her casual looks. Whenever she does like a casual track short with a t-shirt or something, I'm like, oh, I would wear that. But I think to just finding your personal style in general, you have to just experiment so much. Like, there are certain things that I'll try even more recently where I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this like different silhouette on me. And I'm just like, no, I don't like the way I feel in that specific outfit. And it's very obvious to me. I'm like, immediately, no, I don't like that.
I think people tend to lean towards, when they're looking for their personal style, they tend to look towards like certain colors or certain, what's the word? Like categories of clothes, even like sporty. When the most important thing, at least for me, like if I put on an outfit, I know I'm going to love it. The first check of if I love it or hate it is the silhouette.
It's the fit of it.
Always. I don't care if it's like the most crazy, cute texture. If the silhouette of the pants, the shirt, the shoes is not hitting for me, like it's not setting off that little like ding, ding, ding in my head, I cannot wear it and I will not like it. It doesn't matter. Like you have to find the silhouette that works. That's like the first thing of your outfit. It's true.
Because even the shape of a tank top, like recently
matters.
I was going to wear this tank top and the way that like the strap, the width of the straps on my body type, I was like, I hate the way I look right now. Put on a different one that had thinner straps. I was like, I feel beautiful in this, truly. And it's like, it is the fit. It is so specific. Even the crop of shirts, because I'm short. Sometimes I'll like put a shirt on with jeans and I'm like, the crop of this it's too long. It hits me at the worst spot. I do not like how I feel in this at all. And if I'll like even kind of pull it up, I'm like, oh, if it was cropped 1 inch more, I would love it. I agree with that. I feel like it's so specific. And that's why, honestly, it's so hard to find your style, is because I feel like sometimes I will specifically feel like, okay, I need to get all my clothes professionally tailored or else I'm not going to like them. Because like my legs are short, so pants are like literally a foot too long on me. And then a crop is like not as cropped as I would want it or whatever it is. So I think that's what maybe
deters people
from being like, I give up. Because sometimes I feel like that where I'm like, I don't know what I like.
Yeah, but you have to get dressed every day. Like that's the thing that's hard, is like if you don't care, then you don't care. Then you go Adam Sandler, baggy, whatever you can just throw on there. And there are a lot of people who just don't care. Most of them are men, but a lot of them, like just a lot of people don't care. And that's fine. But if you find yourself constantly
thinking about it,
every time you get dressed, being a little bit unhappy, like it's worth it to feel confident and put a little effort into, no, I'm not saying put a little effort into tailoring. If that's it, then great. But put a little effort into even finding like okay, you like skirts, you like shorts. I love a skirt, I love a short. It depends so much on the silhouette of the short
length,
or the skirt.
Probably too.
Yes, like how far it goes out, where it hits. Like it really, really depends. And once you get used to it and you kind of know, okay, I love this silhouette. I mean, you don't have to just buy everything in that silhouette, but you have to get used to what silhouettes you like on yourself so that you know going forward. And not even know so that you just only buy that, but when you're getting dressed, if it's like something's weird about this outfit, it's probably the silhouette of it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's because you don't want to obviously base your style on what you wear. You don't want to be super trendy, number one. You also don't want to be like, even when that girl's like, I want to be slouchy Hailey Bieber. And my first thought is like, okay, you should be yourself. Like, but I also think it is totally valid and fine to like look up to someone's style and be like, everything they wear I really like and I gravitate towards, and like almost just kind of use their formula as you're learning your own. Be like, okay, she wears that type of stuff a lot. I'm going to try that. And then again, maybe the silhouette is just a little bit different, but I don't think there's anything wrong with like emulating someone else's style you look up to and just making it your own eventually.
It's a great starting point. But yes. I do think it is kind of like you're saying, like, I think what you look up to in these people is their confidence in wearing that outfit. Like, what you like so much about their clothes is how they wear them.
And
it's
it looks like them.
Yes, and they have something within them that's like, I know my style, I'm confident, and like I want to wear what I want to wear. And they just wear it, and it's like, oh, I just love that outfit. But you actually just, if they were wearing it in a little different way, or if you could sense that they weren't secure about what they're wearing, it just really depends. And that's what you envy, is like how comfortable they are in their style.
True.
Almost.
For sure, true.
We're like, so get confidence.
Yeah, no, honestly, that is 100% true. And it's
because someone could have clothes I never want to wear, but I'm like, why do I love their style so much? Like, I would never wear that. I wouldn't even feel cute in that.
I know, I agree with that. Not someone saying my sneaky link is ugly. That's their lighthearted problem. Then why are they your sneaky link?
Then drop the sneaky.
Then drop the sneaky.
Or drop the linking.
Yeah. Drop the linking. Okay, purse organization. My purse is a lip gloss sticky glitter disaster.
Please. Pouches,
100%.
You got to get a pouch. I've had the same pouch for forever. You got to get the right size pouch. You don't want it too small. You don't want it too big. You want it like perfect size that fits in most of your purses. And you want pouches within the pouch.
Yeah, I was going to say you almost need multiple pouches. It is the best solution. Like, my purse always feels so organized now because I have specifically a pouch that's kind of just like my everything pouch that I put hand sanitizer, a tampon, sunglasses, and all my lip stuff in. And I always just know that it's there. And even this weekend, Haley was like, do you have a tampon? I was like, yep, I do, in my pouch. You know, we'd get out of a thrift store. Does anyone have hand sanitizer? Yep, I do, in my pouch. I feel so much more prepared.
Yes.
But also I'm not like, yep, somewhere in here, like digging through, because I'm like, that's in my burgundy, like it's like a little leather burgundy pouch. When you said the pouch within the pouch, I just remembered that I have this small little, like, it's like this big. I'm like, I need to put that in my purse too, even maybe separate or within it, to put in, like, because also this weekend someone's like, does anyone have Tylenol? And I'm like, yep, in my pouch. I remember you inspired me to do that because we were on tour however long ago, and everything I'd ask, I'd be like, oh, I wish I had this. Chelsea's like, coming right up. I'm like, you are so prepared. And it was because of that pouch.
Yep, the pouch. The pouch makes all the difference because it doesn't fall out of your purse. Like, the thing that holds you back from adding stuff to your purse is like, you don't want to just have a bag literally filled with stuff. But the pouch makes it easier, makes it more transportable. It makes it, I don't know. And you can take things in and out depending on like where I'm going. Like, if I'm going to the beach, I still bring my pouch. I take my pouch and I put it in my beach bag.
Yeah.
And I'll add sunscreen to it, or I'll add like body sunscreen, just whatever else I need. Maybe a different pair of sunglasses, and I can take it out. It's so much nicer.
It is so easy. I agree with
and
that.
You can kind of, I'll go through my pouch every couple weeks to kind of see.
Clear it out a little.
Yes. Like, what have I not used at all? Okay, I'm going to take this out. Like, now I have little Band-Aids because I got 2 walkers. So it's like I have a thing of little Band-Aids that has come very in handy. I used to not have that. What's it called?
Chapstick?
Perfume.
Oh, perfume. Yeah,
like,
I have a little
different
perfume
scents.
in there too.
Yeah, because deodorant wipes, different things that really make a big difference.
No, it's so nice. I also think for purse organization is like having a keychain. I love a keychain with my keys, and you can add to it. And right now, Chelsey got me like a little Jellycat keychain, and so I have that. It's like a little pink bunny.
You want it to be big.
Yes, you want it to be big so you can grab your keys, because that was the other annoying thing to me is I'd be like, where are my keys? And I'm like searching through, and when I didn't have the pouch either, I'm like, lip stuff is everywhere, sunglasses, like where is all my stuff? Now I have that keychain that it's this like little Jellycat stuffed animal. I mean, it's tiny, but you know, it's big enough to grab
and see.
I have that. I have like a horseshoe on there. I have another little thing, and then all my keys are on there. So when I look at my purse and I'm trying to find keys, like boom, there it is. Between that, the pouch, I'm trying to think if there's any other hacks, but I feel like that has helped my purse organization so much.
You can get pouches from Etsy. You can get them literally from like the dollar section at Target. You can get pouches, and once you start noticing pouches, they're everywhere.
Yep. It's like angel numbers. Just start thinking about a pouch and you'll find one.
Sometimes packaging you get already, like we'll have like a little plastic pouch or something. You can use that.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like thrifting, you can probably find some cute ones too. Mine was like something that I bought. It was I'm trying to remember what it was, but I didn't like seek that pouch out.
Yeah.
Like I remember I got it within something that I had already ordered or something. And I just started using it in my purse.
Yeah.
But yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes, and depending on also the size of your purse. Also, I just love a big purse.
I know. I love it.
And I kind of have for a while. I feel like, I guess maybe because I like to have my vlog camera and other stuff. When I have a tiny purse, I'm like, I'm too restricted.
Yeah,
like
and you're
I
not
like
a diaper bag and a purse. It's like, okay, I'm tired.
I just like a bigger tote bag and then smaller things within it. So
love.
That's my rec.
Honestly, purse organization is like my Roman Empire. I swear, every other vlog I do, I'm like, we're going through my bag. What's in my bag? How to organize a bag.
Oh, I feel like people love that.
It's so fun. Okay, this one is figuring out how the hell I should be doing my makeup as a 30-year-old. This I relate to so much. Makeup has never been my strong suit. Is that the right term? And it's really hard when you want to wear makeup and look cute in makeup, but you don't know what makeup suits you. You don't. For me, I always, and not to be, I know this is like a pick me thing, but it's really not. Like, it's actually been the biggest struggle of my life is I like the way I look better without a lot of makeup, but the right makeup will make me feel confident.
Yes.
But it's really hard for me to figure out and to replicate. If I do it once, that's once in every 10 years.
Yeah. I feel
where I'm
like
that makeup really hits.
The past 2 years, I've gotten to a place where I'm like, I used to always want my makeup done for me. Like if I was ever going to do a shoot, I'm like, I need a makeup artist. Like I don't know how to do makeup. I feel like in the past 2 years, I've gotten to a place where like most of the time I prefer how I do it. Like sometimes if I get it done, I'm like, okay, I kind of feel like not myself always. There are certain people I trust, but I have gotten to a good place. I'm going to recommend a video to you, which I recommended a while ago, but I think that she just has good techniques in it that you can use like regardless of your specific makeup vibe. Let me find it really fast.
While you're finding that, I think too, when you get a little bit older and your face changes and like naturally you age a little bit more and you have a line here or there, it's actually, makeup doesn't just get, it doesn't go on as smoothly as it did when you were 16.
Yeah.
And like you could put on bad eyeliner, but it didn't really matter because your skin is glass. Like when you get a little bit older, you're kind of trying to navigate around the changes in your face and like your eyes. And it can go south very fast. If you're trying, you can't put too much eyeliner on because then you're like, wait, I don't like this look anymore. It's not giving what it used to give when I was younger. But I want to wear makeup. I want to look elevated. It is a little bit, I'm just validating you. It is challenging
I think the first thing to focus on is skin in general, because when my skin was like breaking out a lot and stuff, I hated doing makeup because I'm like, this isn't laying properly. I didn't feel, so I feel like the first thing to nail is like a good skincare routine that you feel like makes your skin feel the best that it can be. And then move on to makeup because good skincare is the best base for makeup.
Yes,
and I will always believe that. So the video that I'm referring to is Maddie Bernard. Shout out Maddie. I love you. I do think she's a Valley girl, which is such a compliment because she is a baddie. Okay.
Yes, I love her.
She has a YouTube channel where she does a lot of makeup stuff, but the specific video I'm talking about is from a year ago and it's called How to Make Your Makeup. And I remember I watched this casually one day because I always felt like, okay, I'm doing my makeup, but it's not like almost I would do my makeup and then I would see a photo of me and I'm like, why does it look like I'm wearing nothing? Like I almost had the opposite problem of, I don't know, I would put on makeup and then I would see a photo. I'm like, it literally looks like I have nothing on my face, but I did my makeup for like 20 full minutes. I'm so confused. This video, she's really good at kind of like that clean girl aesthetic where it is more natural. Like it's not super cakey, but it's like the techniques that you use and the products that you use. I never used powder. Before I watched this video, I was like, I'm kind of have dry skin sometimes, so I don't want to put powder on. When I incorporated some of the things she talked about, my makeup had never looked better. Like I remember I did my makeup along with that video that I was watching and I was like, oh, we'll see. And then I vlogged and I was like, my makeup looks the best it's ever looked. Like just from these few little techniques. And I can't even remember at the moment because I haven't watched that specific video in a while. But I remember the other day I was like, I need to watch that video again because I just felt like watching tutorials from people that you like their makeup, if you know they're recommending products or techniques, like when they're makeup artists, they know things that you don't know. Like, oh, you should use this brush, like be very light. I remember I learned from a makeup artist to be not heavy-handed when you're doing like contour or bronzer. She was like, literally barely touch the brush and like dust it on. I always felt like, well, I need to get it on there. And she was like, just layer it, but like be really, you know, don't be heavy-handed. And just little tips like that. I feel like watching makeup tutorials can be so helpful. Yeah. And I just like her makeup specifically. I feel like her makeup's always makeuping. So true. That's why I like her advice. But I would recommend that video. And yeah, just like experimenting too and a bunch of practice, because I didn't feel confident in my makeup until I started doing my own makeup like very often, like almost daily. And then I got into a routine that I was like, oh, I like placing my bronzer in this location. I like when my wing of my eyeliner is like this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You can learn so much from videos though.
It's true. Do one more.
I am so bad at editing photos. Please help. I don't know how to. Okay, this is going to be a podcast exclusive. I will tell you guys. I'll tell you all my secrets right now. Number one, the Tezza app. Duh. Her app is the best. I feel like it's so...
What's your go-to filter?
Yeah, I'll tell everything. It's so easy to use, the Tezza app. It just really is. My go-to filter is Cocoa.
Love Cocoa.
I use it pretty much for every photo, but I turn the intensity of it down to like 40. So... yeah, I just think it like gives a nice little subtle edit to the photo, but everyone has a different, that might just be my preference with my skin tone and the colors that I don't know. Everyone will have a different preference. Try out a bunch of the Tezza filters and just take the intensity down. Cause to me, that's sometimes, I feel like the look right now that a lot of people like is like more minimally edited photos. But I will very rarely post on my story or my feed an unedited photo. Like I like being able to take the exposure down just a tiny bit, or like add a little bit of contrast, a little bit of grain, or a filter. Minimal, but it makes a little bit of a difference and it just looks better in my opinion. That's me. Not everyone feels that way. I also think it's like ingrained in my brain that I have to edit a photo. Like to just post something raw feels crazy to me, but it's really not. The iPhone takes such good photos now that I don't know. But Tezza app, Cocoa filter at like 40 intensity. I'll sometimes add some grain. If you want to look more tan in a photo, take the luminance, go to the HSL section. That's hue, saturation, and luminance. This is one of my favorite editing tips in general. If you want to look a little bit more tan in a photo for summer, get the orange luminance and just put it down a little bit. It will just like make the oranges a little bit more deep. And so I'll use that a lot. I also just like using the HSL feature for like different tones of stuff. So sometimes if the reds in a photo are like too red, I will move the tint of it over to like the green section so it feels more balanced, or vice versa. Like the HSL section is one of my favorite sections. I love all the different fun filters that she has also, like the photo booth filter. The black and white, her black and whites are really good. Is
so good.
I like all of them. Blanco, espresso. There's another one that I use a lot. It's like the classic black and white one that's more contrasted.
Oh, it's the very end one.
Yeah, it's the very end one. I'll use that one too. I will use any of the black and whites.
I like butter.
Okay. I haven't used butter very much. That's like colored, right? It's not black and white. Yeah. Yeah, I like all of those. And then also the angle in which you take a photo, I guess she was just asking about editing, but the angle at which you take a photo is so important. And I feel like that is what separates good photos from bad ones. Like on an iPhone, if you are standing and you're kind of like looking down at like your phone is not completely vertical, I will hate the photo. Like if someone takes a photo of me and I can see that they're not straight up with the phone, I'm like, I will hate the way that looks.
Just stop now.
Yeah. So I feel like it's so important for your phone. Like, not that I need to give you a lesson in that, but I truly sometimes feel like people don't know to just like keep their phone so up and down vertically, because that will just make you look the best in a photo. But also, if you, for some reason, if the angle is making you look like very short or stubby, then in your photo app, or like, you know, if you're looking at a photo, hold on, I need to go to it so I don't misdirect you. You click on the like 3 little lines if you have an iPhone, and then you click on crop. Then you go over to the, I don't know what it's called because it's
just like a picture, isn't it?
Well, it's like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what you'd refer to that as.
It's like a tilting feature, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a tilting feature, but it doesn't have a name. But basically, there's like a circle and then a trap. Is that a trapezoid?
Yeah.
With like a line through it. You click on that. I can put a visual on the YouTube video. And then move it to the right. You will look so much taller, and it is so much more flattering. If you're looking like stumpy or small, or the angle was taken from above, it will just make the photo look so much better and elongate you so much. So those are some of my tips. I'm trying to think if there's anything else when it comes to editing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good at editing, honestly. If I edit, I usually go for a black and white because I don't want to mess up the colors. Because I could start down a rabbit hole where I'm like, oh, let me adjust the blues and greens, and then all of a sudden I'm like The Simpsons. I'm like, wait, where have I gone with this edit? I don't even know what's happening. Yeah, it's like the sky's purple, I'm yellow. I'm like, wait, I don't know what I did. But I feel like for me, again, this isn't not necessarily an edit afterwards, but I always have my camera on negative 0.7 exposure. Like you can go and adjust your automatic exposure and burst.
Yes,
because
burst
if you do
is the only way. Yeah. And I was telling them that on the trip, and they were like, "You're kidding." They're like, "These photos look so much better."
Yeah.
And it's the burst.
It's a pain. But.
So basically, when you're on the iPhone, you click the middle button and you pull it over to the left, and it just starts bursting, taking a bunch of photos. But you have to do it fast.
Don't hold too long because it will turn into a video.
Yes. So you just quickly grab the photo button and pull it over to the left. It'll just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, super fast bursting photos. And that eliminates the auto thing that the new iPhones do, where it makes your skin look bad. It's like HDR. It's like, I will take a photo side by side and I'm like, how does this look so much better when I'm bursting? So that is another tip. The other tip that I have, depending on what iPhone you have, is 2x. When you're taking a photo of someone, get a little farther away from them and go to 2x. It kind of depends on the situation. Like, I won't say that every single time it looks better, but I do think that a lot of times it looks just like a more interesting photo when you're further away, but you're zoomed.
It kind of brings the background in a little bit, which makes it look flatter in a good way.
And then also for videos, I do that. Like for all my vlog clips and stuff, like any video you see that's taken with an iPhone is 2x or 5x. Like, I like to zoom in because it looks so much more cinematic. So I felt like there was one other thing I was going to say. I think I was just going to say with the Tezza app as well, there's so many fun little features. Like even you can take a photo and then just like zoom, like the way you crop it is everything. Like sometimes I'll take a photo and then I'll go in after and like crop it up closer in a different way. And I'm like, this makes it look so much cooler.
Yeah.
There's on the Tezza app, there's like little blur filters. So if you're like in a photo where you're kind of spinning, you can like add a little like
I love the motion filter
effect. And it just like makes it more interesting and it makes it look cuter in my opinion. And there's like more variety.
I add the motion filter and I do it on like 4, like the tiniest amount on a lot of my photos that I post. Because it just blurs it a little tiny bit and it makes it look like it has motion if it looks like a little too
stagnant
posed.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But
I love a good little, I'm getting excited talking about this. I want to make a TikTok with some editing.
Yeah, you should.
Secrets.
Because the only pictures I like, if I'm taking photos or videos, and not that anyone's asking me, but for my stories, I have a complaint with Apple because I used to take a video and then I would take pictures, like the little white button of it, and it wouldn't autocorrect it, but it would be in the perfect ratio for stories. So like if I know I'm taking these like I want to take a picture of something for stories, I would always do a video and then take pictures of the video, because the way that it would be, I know a lot of people screenshot videos for pictures too, because of the way that the video camera is just different than the regular photo camera.
Yeah, it is.
And I tend to like that look. But recently, if you take a photo of your video,
it does the stupid
will
audio
autocorrect it, and it ruined it. It's still nice because it has the right ratio for stories, so you can kind of see exactly. Because sometimes you take a photo and then you go to post it for stories, and like it's cutting out a vital part.
But you can set your camera to do, if it's 16:9 ratio, it will be perfect for stories if you want to do that.
Oh, you can do that? Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's helpful.
Yeah, that is helpful.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just marking off everything off my to-do list. That's so stressful to me.
You're done.
Oh, I've done something horrible. Oh my gosh.
Done. Don't worry. You can relax today.
Oh, that is really bad. I just marked off a bunch of stuff on my to-do list that I haven't done. So now I'm going to need to go in because I was just talking and touching my phone apparently. I'll deal with that after we finish this episode. Those are all the lighthearted ones we're going to do for today. I feel like we could do that
every time.
Had a ton. This was like the most submissions we've ever gotten. I'm like, thank you for the,
We've got problems.
Yeah, we've got problems, but they're just silly. And They've
got 99 problems, but when they're with us, they have 100.
Thank you guys for listening. We have an exciting announcement coming next week.
Couple days.
Get ready. Just a few days away. We have something exciting that's coming up. We're very excited about it. Make sure you follow our Instagram. Make sure to follow us on TikTok for some clips. Also on Instagram, whatever. Or you can watch us on YouTube. And see a visual of all of our podcast episodes if you're interested in that. It's just What We Said podcast on everything. We love you guys so much. And
that's what we said. Goodbye.
Bye.